we go, and this is like what the fourth part to the Sims for Podcasty stuff, basically. Hope you guys like it. Okay, so what I wanted to discuss today is the current state of the Sims 4, right? With its packs and what is specified as a certain pack and how much you have to pay for those packs and if it's worth the price. Now we've seen a pattern here that you get a lot of gameplay, but when it really should be at least a game pack instead of a expansion pack. If you guys don't know, The Sims 4 has different packs, right? They have like paid content that you can add on. An expansion pack usually comes with like a very big world and then gameplay and all these other things, and however like really big changes. That's what the expansion pack should be, but nowadays that is not the case, and that's really unfair for the EA to charge $40 for something that should be worth at least half of that, which would be a game pack. Now, why am I speaking about it now? I'm speaking about it now because the most recent one that is coming up, the quote-unquote businesses and hobbies, we already have businesses in other packs. We already have hobbies in other packs. However, that isn't my biggest issue. I've seen with a lot of the other ones, they've added stuff from like packs that had stuff before, but they made it bigger and better. This one doesn't seem to be bigger or better, in my opinion, because like you have all these other options and they're basically selling like DLC for DLC, because now they have this apartment option where it's like the top part of you can live in it, and the bottom part or whatever you can set as your home, like shop or stuff like that alongside your home, all this thing, like hello, we got like apartments and those specific things in for rent. Why is this trying to be a main feature for something that needs to add on? No, you're not adding on. Okay, you're not adding on to anything. You're just adding on for the sake of adding on. It's like something that was already there. So what's the incentive? If someone gets the business one now, what's the incentive for them to get the rent one? There is no incentive. It actually makes it worse. You have to look at your marketing and your and this is me speaking to EA, like look at your company for a second. Like you released something that was so similar to something before, but you didn't do it good enough. It had a bunch of glitches, still has a bunch of glitches. It didn't give everyone who bought it the value for their money because it was released way too fast and it wasn't hinged. Okay, and like there's nothing to do in that world. What's the point of those extra worlds? Alright, that'll come later. I have a special gripe about worlds, but for right now, since we're talking about marketing and these things and like renewing old content to be paid for at a like same or higher price as the original, and then like it's just being there. Like, come on, man. Like, businesses and hobbies, you already have that, like rent in full rent. All right, and we already have businesses and hobbies before. Like, plenty of packs have those things. It's crazy. Man. And then people are gonna get it because and then it's like, how people are gonna kind of like twist it around and to make it seem that it's something like completely fine. They're gonna be like, okay, well, this one is a better one, it's more enhanced, so you don't have to buy these multiple packs. But I'm guessing most of you people, if you're not like super new, have already bought Get to Work or for rent or other You already have those things. Most people probably already have them, or a lot of people that are new to it don't have them, but the great majority probably have it. And even if like they're not gonna get those things and they're not gonna be worth more for their money, like this new thing is gonna be more worth for their money, that is not the case. Like, yeah, it's more updated, it's new, it's quote unquote new, right? But like, come on, be a little original for once. We've been seeing this pattern quite a bit. The only thing that has been original, alright, has been freaking Life and Death. And that's because it's like, it feels like a freaking passion project. But then we get, you know, like, excuse my language, but crap for like stuff that comes later. So you have these things that are so great, you did such a good job on. Why won't you continue that model? Why won't you try to put everything into more stuff that's coming forward? Why is it you have something good? It's very good, and you know people like it, and it's out there, and like it gets you views, it gets you money, it gets you all these types of things, like, and then you can release like content that's similar to that and kids and stuff like that, and it goes in there. Like, why do we have to have all this good and then have something completely crappy for the next 2 or 3 installments that come in within a year or in the 2 years that go by from there? Why is that the case? That should not be the case. Okay, you shouldn't sell shit for shit and then kind of have a golden shit and a regular shit together, but the regular shit overwhelms the golden one. Okay, it stops smelling like those gold bars and starts to smell like shit, because let's call it what it is. That is what it is. That is the strategy. That's how the strategy is. It's ridiculous. Now, like, going from that, like, I've opened about this, but you know, like, I don't have to make full, huge, long videos on all those things, right? I can just say it now, because like, this has kind of been, my patience has run out. All right, and this one, I'm telling you, like, even for content creation, I'm not gonna get this one. I'm not gonna get it. I don't need it. Nothing can convince me that it's good. So that is from that perspective. All right. Now for my biggest thing, these extra worlds that come with it, and a lot of the time they're very unnecessary. Now with the, like, the, you know, we saw how the world looks. I don't know yet what it's called. I probably don't even care enough to find out what it's called. So whatever. But you know, if you're really looking into businesses and hobbies, this is talking about the world now, we're moving on to the world. Like, business and hobbies, like, you know, we could really get a second Windenburg. If you need businesses and hobbies so much, you could have a second Windenburg, but they don't have that. They have freaking San Sequoia and Tomarang plus, basically. That is what they have. All right, you have this world that doesn't have a lot of lots. People have put those lots before, right? And it's like, what? It's like a small world, few lots, and all for a sorry about my ums and stuff, but you have the whole world and everything. Like, come on, mate. They're not fun to go through. There's nothing much to do in those worlds. Like, oh yeah, like I kept saying golden turd, polished turd would like, I like it, but yeah. So those 2 ones that really actually did manage to succeed in those now into the worlds are Horse Ranch and Life and Death. Their worlds actually have something to do. Their worlds are very interesting and like lore driven, all these things. Horse Ranch, and the reason why I moved my Sims little fam legacy whatever to Horse Ranch is because it's so open. Like, it'd basically be what an open world one would be. Like, so much of the Horse Ranch area is connected to other areas, and it fits. And I like that. I like that openness that it has. But the new one that's coming in, I don't think it's that. Okay, there's a pattern, and there's a reason why I'm not giving it the benefit of the doubt, because it feels very, very for rent and San Sequoia. All right, the family thing and the rent thing and the businesses and all that, that's what it feels like. Now, here's another thing with the world. This is my big thing. It's like, okay, there should be an option for you to not have those worlds in your overall game. All right, there should be an option for that, because they suck. Like, I would love it if I could just turn off Magnolia Promenade from Get to Work, Tomarang, freaking even Wedding Stories, but that has some niche usage, so it would kind of stay. Okay, I would get rid of that one. I would get rid of that one, meaning the Get to Work world. I would get rid of what's this? Yeah, Tomarang, right? I would get rid of San Sequoia. I would be rid of Glimmerbook even to a certain extent, because it's just like, at least Vampires has like some sort of, vibe. Glimmerbook, like, it's supposed to be this beautiful, nice thing. Like, then make it more beautiful. Make it like, why is the secret part not Glimmerbook? Right? Why is the secret world area that you made, why isn't it that? You could switch, like, it would boost your sales. It would boost your sales. It would boost like your ratings or whatever, or anything like that. However that works. Eventually I will find out how all that stuff works. Hopefully. If you guys support me, leave a like, comment, and subscribe midway into the video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And then, so it's this. Now, I'm not an EA shill, but sometimes I really do feel like I am an EA shill, and this is the time where I can be like, yeah, I'm not that. Okay, honey, I'm not interested in you. That's what I mean towards the new one that's coming. So, world, I wish I could delete them. All right, you get it. You pay that much. All right, okay. In your paycheck, it's not gonna make that big of a difference. But that doesn't apply to everyone. All right. And they know that. Why do you think they have this like legacy option for the Sims 4 for other less expensive and older computers and stuff? They have that because they know everyone cannot afford. Everyone cannot afford like how the Sims 3 was. Everyone can't afford that. If you know your audience and your potential audience cannot afford these things, and that's the excuse for a lot of the glitches and stuff, for everything to work on newer and older end computers, and that's an excuse. Then why is it outdated when it comes to other stuff like that? Like, come on, it doesn't make any sense. You know your audience on one issue, but you don't know your audience in the other, that you shouldn't be like releasing 2 or 3 expansion packs in a year that each cost $40, and then 4 times 3, you do simple math, all that ends up about around like $120 overall for like 3 expansion packs or something, unless I'm saying it wrong. But yeah, yeah, 40 times 3, yeah, okay. That's how much it ends up. So again, to go to that, and I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry, but from that product, all right, from the laptop issues and the PC issues, not everyone can afford high end. However, but knowing that, you also know they cannot afford these freaking expansion packs and how common they are. What would have changed you guys from having the game pack, all right, 1 or 2 game packs in between this nonsense? You could put all these things into the game pack. Like, it's not a big thing. Just do that. Like, people would get it. It's half the flipping price, and usually they're way better to begin with. That's what it is. And yeah, so just release the freaking game pack or something. Don't keep releasing these insane amounts of expansions and kits. Oh my lord. Like, if you've seen my DLC, basically, review for The Sims 4, circa 2024, a lot of those kits I don't own, okay? A lot of those kits I don't own, and I didn't buy them and couldn't really review them, okay? That's showing you something. Like, it's insane. The amount of kits within a year, and then the amount of expansion packs in a year. They're trying to play both games at once. They have this one thing that is like super expensive and not everybody can afford it, but then they're also like, oh look, we have kits that are only $5, right? But the amount of kits, like what, 4, 5, 6, or 7 in a year, I don't know, maybe even 10, it might even get to that point, because it doesn't seem to be like it's gonna stop anytime soon. You're paying like 5 times 5, what, like 25, basically a game pack's worth of thing, if you actually want to get multiple like kits and stuff. It's ridiculous, and they're doing it from both ends. There would be one thing if there was a middle ground, which I would say are stuff packs, and especially game packs, but it's not doing it, and they don't seem like they want to do anything about that, change it or whatever it is. And then we also have this thing, right? This loading. I would never side rant, whatever. We're kind of done with that portion, right? But, like, come on, I have like one of the most expensive freaking laptops there is, right? And yet, and if I didn't have that loading screen, do you know how long it would take? Do you know how long a lot of those freaking loading screens would take? For that. I was saying about the worlds, right? And the worlds really apply into this one. I don't know how much space they take within your game when you get them, and like, especially like, since you're never gonna go to most of them, there should be an option to turn them off so you can kind of save, space or memory or something, however that works, or just for aesthetics and for your own liking to not have extra worlds in your game, and being able to pick and choose which ones that you're gonna visit, you're gonna use, and you have them in there, and the others should have an ability of gone. All right, you don't want those worlds. I can't inhabit all of them. I can try to have a legacy and have each of them be in one world and then the other and this and that, but they're not equal. A lot of those worlds aren't equal with each other, so you really damn yourself when you're doing this kind of exploration of the multiple worlds and stuff in that way. When you have a lot of, again, in the beginning, you have a lot of shit on one side and you have a lot of golden shit on the other side, right? Where's the middle ground? You're not really gonna find it. And I think that would really help. So, yeah. And honestly, it's like, stop. And then, okay, talking about worlds again, is because my main issue, it's money and it's the worlds, right? People are gonna get that stuff mostly for the worlds, and they're gonna like be making new sims and cars and build mode and all these things. But what about in those worlds where like a lot of that building isn't ever gonna be usable? Like, stop that, please, for God's sakes. And they have this beautiful set, alright, of the worlds, and they make them look so nice, so pretty, so lived in, but there's almost no access to those areas. Then what is the point? What is the point of that? Why is that the case? It's crazy. It's crazy. And then worlds and cast and build, and then build too. The building is such a today is such a freaking like the builds. Oh my goodness. And then I'm sorry about that. I can get that out, hopefully. I was talking about the builds. Yeah. A lot of people get because a lot of these things and a lot of kits and a lot of expansion packs, a lot of game packs, simply for the build mode. Stop doing that, and stop justifying these things just to get build and buy stuff. Stop justifying it, please. It's because people are continuously justifying these types of things that it continues. I know I'm like hopping on the bandwagon of hate or whatever, or easy views because blah 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 blah. But you've seen my videos, all of them are very unedited, so you're getting a raw feel of what I feel and how I feel about it. So yeah, I might contradict myself sometimes, but I'm being honest when it comes to these types of things, because I've noticed a pattern, and I'm like, you know what, if I'm not liking the world, I'm not really caring much for the build and buy, if I'm not really for the cast or whatever, which a lot, it's like you can just get a bunch of kids for the same price that you're gonna get the freaking expansion pack if you specifically want building things. Like, come on, there's a lot of very interesting correlation between that, and the only reason I had gotten that was because it looked awesome, and like so far I played through it and it's beautiful, it's freaking great. But where did this BS just come from all of a sudden? Like, come on, like, let's just, in order to paint a bigger picture, look back in time. We had wedding stories, sucks, right? The world is freaking beautiful, but also not much to do in there. Not a lot of neighborhoods, not a lot of people. The beauty is just for aesthetics. Okay, one bad. After that we have Sequoia, I believe, and again, set dressing. Also the other one that came with high school years and stuff like that. Like, people wanted that thing for forever, and the way it was optimized is so freaking dumb. Like, it's ridiculous. And again, Copperdale, very nice dressing and all that. But again, like, we're seeing a pattern with these things where you have the big world on one side, you have a couple of little tiny mini islands on the other side, and it's just and then on the overworld view, it's like, oh, you have this bridge that you need to cross, this sea you need to cross to get to the mainland or to get to the islands. It's ridiculous. They should all be together. And that's where most of the set dressing comes up. Like, okay, got one turd. All right, with going back to focus my video, got one turd, which is wedding stories, bad world, right? Bad gameplay, everything. We don't need to go into that bad world right now. I'm talking about worlds and build modes and these types of things and why they are bad. Again, I reiterate my point. All right, and then you have freaking Copperdale. Again, same issues, shitty gameplay, and just world makes no flipping sense. There's a lot of set dressing, and they're like, oh, you can check out these things, you can do this, and you can do that. Who wants to make your world look better? Stop worrying about freaking aesthetics and use your hands and fingers or whatever in one way or the other to have larger communities, okay? Please focus on that. Okay, so second turd. Third turd? No. Was there a turd after high school years? No, after high school years it was flipping it wasn't a turd. It was a Horse Ranch, I think, is after high school years. It was like, oh, that's a polished, beautiful world. I mean, we've talked about Horse Ranch earlier in this video, so yeah. One good, okay. 2, 3 bad, 1 good, and then the werewolf thing, that wasn't really for me either, but it does create some cool builds. I'm just saying, it does. I'm not recommending it for that though. I'm not recommending these things for any of that, to be honest. It has great gameplay and all that, but yeah, it's great. Alright, then last one, yeah, so we had that. So 2 good, about 3 bad. In Tamarang, a horrible world, not a lot of interaction. We didn't even get what we were promised. Alright, I forgot to cut that out, darn it. Okay, we didn't get what we were promised. We were expecting these lively, awesome, neighborly areas and stuff. No, that's not how it was done, and it was not framed in that way at all. What we were told and then what we got, there was no transparency, let's be honest there. And then honestly, Tomarang really shines in the inadequacy of all these arguments. Yeah, it's like, come on. Okay, small world, bad world, not optimized, not up to par, shown something completely different, gotten something completely different. Okay, uh Cass is like interesting or whatever, but it's very niche and everything. But yeah, we need more of those types of clothes in the game because East Stage and all that. I'm like, I don't really argue about Cass. Cass is just up to the person, honestly, and more representation, the better. The build mode, it's very specific and it has all these things that you're mainly gonna use them for specific Tomarang builds or other things. But again, it's not enough to justify everything, right? That's basically. Then you have, yeah. So with Tomarang it's that, and then so you can't argue for its build and buy. You can't argue for its cast. You cannot argue for its world. You cannot argue for its gameplay. Alright? You can't argue with it for anything. All that you can argue for it is that it's horribly glitchy, and what were your promise you're not gonna get. So just kind of smile and keep that horrible world right there instead of being able to not even think about the world. Come on, like, okay, if people are buying for build mode and they're buying for cast and they're buying it for these reasons and not gameplay and all these other types of things, we should, you know that, EA, so we should have the ability to not have those worlds even be a part of there, so they don't take up disk space. All right, I know it's a shocker, and I get it, we don't use disk nowadays, but come on, you know what I'm saying. All right, yeah. And now here's me doing my whole friggin' renovation. And then like freaking build. We're doing the build, RANT. The upper portion of the live stream that I went the other day. Promotion here. Please go check out my live stream of this one where I made the bottom portion and the outside and how beautiful it was. And it doesn't look at all like it's a part of the Horse Ranch world, but I tried my best. Yeah, I was building for myself, and yeah. The aesthetics are very interesting to me, whatever. But yeah, okay. So what have we learned? I've waffled on for a long time, but yeah, make better worlds, make better, you know, like seriously, it all goes down towards gameplay and the worlds. If the world is good, the gameplay is gonna be there. People are gonna visit it. People are gonna use it. Just have it. It's not that big of a deal. Like, come on, and like. For people who are buying these packs, alright, for the build, why? Why exactly? Like, I get it, you want to make more builds, you want to make better builds, and you want these other things too in there, and then you can make these different things. But don't allow that to, like, you know, poison your mind, or you not waking up and using your mind that, like, is it really worth it? Because you are justifying paying that, all right, with your hard-earned cash. You're paying them. You're justifying their shittiness, all right. You're justifying their lack of professionalism, lack of integrity, lack of care for the game, right? They're overworking their employees. They're pushing due dates that are not possible. What do you think you're gonna get from that? You should know about this as like a community for the game that you're playing. You should know what is happening on the back end, because it's a multi-million-dollar thing. People are losing their freaking jobs and being pushed around for so many other things for that. Like, stop justifying them being shitty, being a shitty company, and giving into it at every second. Stop doing that. If you like something really much, then yeah, go get it. Go do it. Go whatever. But if you see something bad is happening, then freaking stand up for it. Stand up for it. Stand up for yourself. That is what you need to do. Like, if they don't get, like, you know, that thing and, you know, yours, then maybe somehow with enough community pushback, they'll be like, okay, we need to change our strategy. We need to maybe even care a little bit more, you know? Whatever, right? Maybe they'll do that. Maybe not. But just thing is, I'm just here to tell you that don't get this new expansion pack. Don't get over amount of kits and packs, stuff packs. All right, don't get an exorbitant amount of them. Like, okay, if you want it, you like it, then get it. All right, but don't justify it. Don't try to defend something that is completely undefensible. Alright, don't defend anybody when it comes to these types of things. It's not worth it, and it's not pretty, and you usually end up being the person that is losing. You're losing out, mate. You're losing out on cash, you're losing out on time, you're losing out on emotions that you're gonna get super angry about once you purchase that turd, alright, that's polished with money. Once you purchase it, and then you're gonna be mad later, but you've already made the purchase. So are you gonna get your monies back? No, you're not. So why? Okay, just putting it out there, not being a hater and all that, whatever. I'm not saying, like, I don't want to point fingers, I don't want to, do all that. All right, maybe I've come down around like a douchebag, or not caring enough, or just being more delicate and nuanced, or whatever word people like to use nowadays. But that's that, like, you know and now that's it for my rant and my analysis. And it's just, fight with your wallet, people, fight with your wallet. All right, and I'll be leaving you here now. You can enjoy the rest of the music with the stuff that's being built and decorated. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you, and it'll hopefully be a lot less angry. I hope it was entertaining and fun. I tried. Alright, thank you. Bye. Please leave a like and a comment and subscribe. Watch the games everything, because I will be gaming everything.